11 million children are asked to work as interpreters in the US. And then you follow that with a very profound statement, which is that children should be free to enjoy their childhood and not burdened with the responsibilities of acting as interpreters in complex situations and adult situations, I might add. And yet, time and time again, we hear about kids being inducted to interpret for their parents. We hear about this all the time, and um, this is what drew me to your work with Unheard Voices is that I hear about it all the time, and it's such a big issue across the U.S. and globally, really.
Yes, Dieter, thank you for bringing that up and for the opportunity to talk openly about our effort and heard voices. I'm not alone in this effort, and there are many individuals and companies that are supporting this effort. So I'm going to tell you a bit about it. As you mentioned, there are 11 million children just in the US that are acting as interpreters. And if you think about that,
Yeah,
this is child labor, right?
yeah,
That we somehow are okay with, right? And these children are being employed, unpaid, of course. They are taken out of school to go interpret for
yeah,
professionals that should know better, right? In circumstances that are life altering for usually their adult parents. So here you have children given information on critical diagnosis or information on how to purchase a house, on a loan. I mean, crazy things you would not accept
yeah,
if done to
yeah.
you in another country, right? And let me give you a case that is perhaps the most dramatic case, the case of Griselda Zamora. She was a 13-year-old girl who served as her family's interpreter because
Yep.
her parents spoke limited English. When Griselda became seriously ill and was taken to the hospital, she was too sick to interpret for herself, and the hospital did not provide an interpreter. So, this language barrier led to a critical misunderstanding. Without an interpreter, her Spanish speaking parents were instructed to bring her back immediately if her symptoms worsened, but they understood
Oh my
they
gosh.
should wait three
Yeah,
days to see a doctor. As a result, her condition worsened, and by the time they returned to the hospital, she had a ruptured appendix, and tragically, Griselda died after being airlifted to another medical center. So this tragedy could have
yeah,
been prevented if they had an interpreter, right? But not only they didn't have an interpreter,
yeah,
they used the sick child to do this. So Unheard Voices is trying to eliminate children, like eliminate the practice of child interpreting, and we advocate for the use of professional interpreters and translators, ensuring that language barriers don't burden children or compromise communication. So we need people's help and support, and they can help in many ways, right? So we are currently gathering stories from people like Griselda, who have experienced child interpreting firsthand, so that they can give us their experience and shed light on what they felt when they were interpreting for adults. We're also seeking donations, of course, and our website is now ready to receive donations, and we will have that enabled for the month of November, because we want to fund a powerful film, hopefully, a film project to document the impact of child interpretation. So donating to this cause, we have there is a broad range. You can
yeah.
donate 500, whatever you want. And third, if you can invite us to speak to one of your launch and learn sessions, because many companies have this kind of session. And we can talk about language access and child interpretation at that event. So there are many ways to help, at least three ways that I mentioned right now.